And it was with that scheming, mocking laugh that a band of animated characters began to expose some of the biggest problems of our generation. Feel Good Incorporated by the band Gorillaz isn't just a catchy hit from the 2000s. The song also reveals a very serious disaster that has been haunting our society for over 100 years. I'm Ingrid and you're watching the Decipher Hits channel. Feel Good Incorporated is one of those songs that hits you like a harsh reality check. And ironically, the one giving that slap is a virtual band. Right at the beginning of the music video, we see a chaotic city, apparently violent and very similar to a post-apocalyptic place, which reminds us of the atmosphere in movies like Mad Max. Amidst the chaos, we see a tower so gigantic that it even rises above the clouds. At the top, there's a sign that says Feel Good Incorporated, and the name of this place already reveals something very important. Feel good means feel good, and the word Inc. is short for incorporated, which is how corporations are identified in the United States. In other words, the tower symbolizes a big company that is supposedly able to sell well-being. Right after that, we are quickly taken inside the tower and we find ourselves in an evil, macabre environment. A world in which people are consuming momentary pleasures to feel good for a short period of time. And this is just a sign of what's to come. At that moment, we hear a loud laugh with a sarcastic and evil tone, which really reminds us of characters like Joker, which makes us believe that behind it there are intentions just as twisted, something that is proven later on. The song then starts with a strange repetition. This repetition works as the jingle for the company Feel Good Incorporated. For those who don't know, a jingle is a short musical piece used as advertising for a product or brand since they are easy to sing and remember. Therefore, this part of the song already reveals a mass manipulation technique that is used by big companies. A curious detail is that while 2D, the band's vocalist, seems to be extremely unhappy in that environment, the character Murdoch appears to be enjoying the situation, playing his bass while lying down with two beautiful women. Maybe Murdoch is immune or indifferent to the effects of Feel Good Inc., since he sold his soul to the devil in exchange for becoming a rock star. Yes, that's just one of the many bizarre elements in the story of the Gorillaz band members, which we've already covered in detail in the video about the song Clint Eastwood. Back to the music video, 2D stands up and in the background, we can see a quick frame where his eyes turn red and an image flashes on the big screen, not yet revealing something that will be shown later in the video. It's worth remembering that 2D's eyes change color when he feels extreme emotions. He then grabs a megaphone and starts shouting to everyone there, beginning with the following phrase. The city is collapsing on the camel's back. This phrase alludes to a popular saying. In English, it's said that the straw broke the camel's back, which is equivalent to us saying that this was the last straw. And 2D keeps warning about the dangers of Feel Good Incorporated. You won't go unnoticed because you are cursed and free. Here, he says that no one is out of reach of Feel Good Incorporated, implying that our notion of freedom is nothing more than an illusion, since, even when we're outside our work routines, we spend our free time entertaining ourselves with the very products that alienate us. A new horizon with an ephemeral style, a melancholic city where we never smile. In other words, whenever we are introduced to changes, to new technologies, they end up being ephemeral, in other words, fleeting. And the result of this is a depressed society where you can't cultivate genuine and lasting happiness. Just brief moments of satisfaction followed by sadness turning into a vicious cycle. Then 2D says that the only thing he wants to hear is the beep of the message. That beep can be heard in the song a few seconds after 2D says that line. and it marks a radical change in the style of the song to a lighter and calmer tone, which represents something important. Unfortunately, people don't pay attention to what 2D was saying. And after hearing the beep, he drops the megaphone, puts his hands and face against the window, and keeps looking outside, longing for something that's outside the tower. And at that moment, a floating island appears, with a large windmill that guides the island through the skies. With vivid and radiant colors, it represents a refuge, a peaceful and calm place where humanity could experience true happiness and the peace of being alive, far away from the clutches of Feel Good Incorporated. This lighter tone of the song, which permeates the chorus, signals that this moment truly represents genuine happiness. Sitting on the edge of this island and playing guitar, we see the character Noodle, who was 14 years old at that time. She seems to be the only person who lives oblivious to the effects of Feel Good Incorporated. For those who don't know, the band Gorillaz usually releases commentary versions of their music videos on their YouTube channel. And in this song, Noodle said the following:
"There's a theme.
A recurring theme of escape, which is usually symbolized by the image of floating islands. I floated near the feel-good tower, and I did that as a reminder for 2D to use his strength to escape from that prison. But it seemed like there was something holding him inside." In the chorus, 2D seems to want to send a message of hope from the windmill to humanity, saying,
Windmill, windmill for the land.
"Windmill, windmill for the land, turning forever hand in hand. Do everything in your own time, it's passing by, everything is falling apart." And it also suggests that love may be the only genuine happiness that humans can experience, saying,
Love forever, love is free.
"Love forever, loving is free, let's spin forever, you and me." And in the end, he calls out, asking if everyone is already on board the windmill. But what does the windmill actually represent? Damon Albarn, the creator of the band Gorillaz, already revealed in an interview with MTV in 2006 that the inspiration came from a poem by the writer William Blake, who used the expression "dark satanic mills" to refer to the aggressive advances caused by the Industrial Revolution, where large companies brought economic benefits at the cost of destroying the environment and small businesses, represented by lively mills like the one in the music video. The atmosphere of tranquility is broken at the end of the chorus when helicopters appear, seeming to be watching the area around the tower in search of more victims. Next, we go back inside Feel Good Inc., and the rap part begins, sung by the rapper True Guy the Dolph from the group De La Soul, who collaborated with the band Gorillaz on this song. They appear on the big screens inside the tower and represent the control imposed by the media over society. The TVs immediately grab 2D's attention and he starts dancing strangely as if he were being controlled by some external force, while True Guy sings the following. Laughing gas, hazardous materials, fast cats. This part connects with that laughter from the beginning of the video, reinforcing that it was an artificial happiness caused by products that act the same way as laughing gas, a toxic compound that can cause irreversible brain damage. The corporation even brags about its ability to control people, comparing them to mere objects on a production line and to racehorses. All lined up like a row of butts, playing with those ponies on the racetrack. And he keeps using metaphors to represent products made to get you addicted. This is my chocolate attack. Chocolate is a food that's very connected to desire and pleasure. And he uses the word attack to show how companies can use your own desires as a weapon against you. Besides that, this part may allude to the book 1984 by the author George Orwell, in which he describes Big Brother as an entity that constantly watches everyone. In that book, the distribution of chocolate is one of the strategies the government uses to control the population. On the big screen, the corporation mocks everyone who is imprisoned in Feel Good Inc., including the band Gorillaz. The Care Bears are representing this year. The Care Bears was a children's cartoon from the 80s. With this comparison, the corporation tries to reduce the band Gorillaz to something harmless and incapable of destroying Feel Good Incorporated. Let's clean up the city with your sound. You're on top. Here, the corporation is inviting Gorillaz. Join us and we'll rock the city. Which could be an attempt by the music industry to corrupt the band and turn it into a ready-made product with no identity of its own, existing only to make a profit. Something that Gorillaz has been fighting against since its inception. But right after that, he threatens them, acknowledging that the band's music makes people think, which could end up pulling them out of their alienation and killing Feel Good Incorporated.
Don't bite the dust, can't fight with us. With your sound, you kill the
You're going to kick the bucket. Don't fight against us. With your sound, you kill Incorporated. And to try to avoid that, he tries to manipulate the band by offering money.
Don't stop, get it, until you cheddar.
So don't stop. Go after it until you get the money. Cheddar is slang for money. And here, the corporation uses one of its biggest traps, money, to force the band and the whole population to keep running in the infamous rat race, where the only goal is to work and chase after money, searching for a happiness that might never be reached. At this moment, we hear that evil laugh, which coincides with the repetition of the Feel Good Incorporated jingle by 2D, as if he were being manipulated again. At this point, the island resurfaces, but this time dark clouds surround it as if a storm is approaching. And then we see two helicopters heading in its direction. This scene could be a foreshadowing of what will happen in the music video. In Amanhana, from the same album, the watchful helicopters find the island and begin a ruthless attack. Back in the music video, 2D keeps looking out the window, wishing to get outside and live in peace on the floating island. This pattern shows that the vicious cycle will keep repeating, and the corporation will continue dictating and controlling the citizens' desires and wishes. And that's exactly why we have to exercise our critical thinking and always question everything around us. Something that the band Gorillaz did brilliantly in this song and in several others, like in the song Clint Eastwood. So if you want to know more about this other story, just click on this video here. That's it from me. Thank you so much for staying with us and see you next time.